I'm Tom Baker, this is Chasing Cars, and next to me is the brand new, all new 2024 Mitsubishi Triton, also known as the L200 in some markets. This vehicle's importance to Mitsubishi cannot be overstated. It is 20% of Mitsubishi's global sales. It is a hugely important vehicle, and of course in Australia, the Triton is a beloved ute. So what has Mitsubishi done to the vehicle for its sixth generation? Well, one thing they haven't done, unlike a number of rivals, is they have not put a V6 engine under the bonnet. Under here, what we have is a modernized FN16 2.4 litre turbocharged diesel engine. It's a 4-cylinder, but it now has twin sequential turbocharging. Now that is going to improve this vehicle's performance. It'll probably improve its fuel economy and its drivability, but of course it isn't the big engine upgrade that many people have been looking for the Triton. There's been rumors for a number of years about things like a plug-in hybrid Triton, things like a fully electric Triton. Will that end up emerging? Will that happen in future? It's certainly possible. What we do know about the Triton is that its new ladder frame chassis will be shared with the upcoming next generation Nissan Navara, because of course Mitsubishi is now an enmeshed part of the Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi alliance. So what can I tell you about the changes to the mechanicals of the vehicle and to the dimensions? Well, it's a bigger ute this time around. It is 50 millimeters wider. It's on a 50 millimeter wider front and rear track. It's 15 millimeters longer. It's a little bit taller than the previous car, and the wheelbase has been stretched. All things that sound good for drivability, but the dimensions are still narrower than the new Ford Ranger and Volkswagen Amarok, which are another 50 millimeters wider, again in both the track and the width, than the Triton. So like a lot of things about the Mitsubishi Triton, the specifications continue to be something like a middle of the class ute in my first impression. But one thing that has received a very significant upgrade is the interior. Let's go there next. Chasing Cars, honest reviews of your next car. Brought to you by Budget Direct. We're here in the front seat of the new Triton, and the vehicle that I'm sitting in here is something like an upper mid-spec car. We are sitting on black leather seats. I think they're leather. They're perforated, but the seats are a really important part of this new interior, and I want to talk about them first before I take you onto this much more advanced and modern dashboard. Seats were an area of negative feedback about the outgoing Triton, so the seat is completely new. It's actually mounted higher, which should make visibility even better over this broad bonnet at the front of the Triton, but the seat is also much more shapely and comfortable with lumbar support, lots of electric adjustment, and just from my first impression, it does feel like a pretty comfy seat, if not the most sort of bolstered on the side. Now, let's talk about what's in front of me, because that's where some of the biggest changes are for the 6th generation Triton. The old one, which was a decade old, was definitely old hat when it came to the dashboard, but that is all different here now. It starts with the touchscreen up here, which is 9 inches, and it runs shared software that Mitsubishi uses along with Nissan. So we've got wireless Apple CarPlay. No word yet on whether the Android Auto is wireless, but the internal software of the system is nice and easy to use. And I love to see that, unlike the new Amarok, for instance, we have full physical climate controls down here for your fan, for your temperature, and also things like a volume knob. Very nice to have in a more of a workhorse vehicle, or any vehicle really, right? Steering wheel is round, perforated leather. We do have a driver attention camera thing here, like so many new cars have, because of course this vehicle is new for 2024, and we're looking forward at analog gauges. Now this is one area where I think the next Navara will probably be positioned as a slightly more premium alternative on the same architecture as the Triton. I reckon Navara will probably have a fully digital instrument cluster, but here in Triton we have a mechanical tacho, mechanical speedo, but a big 7-inch color screen in between them, which is certainly nice to have. Material quality, well, it's still hard on the dash and hard on the doors, but lots of softer plastics down here, nicely mounted armrest, and the steering wheel and gear shifter both feel like quality items. And of course, that's what you spend most of your time touching in the car. Some other features: Super Select 4-wheel drive 2, that system stays. Everybody loves Super Select that has a Triton, because you can keep this car in 4-wheel drive on the road, which so many utes in the class, Hilux included, still cannot do. We've got a twin glove box here as well. That's certainly a nice feature. Wireless phone charging, USB-C and A as well. So certainly up front, the Triton feels thoroughly up to date. If not a luxury ute, if not a premium ute, this feels like a nice mid-range middle of the market solution, which is certainly much more modern than the outgoing version. But let's have a look at the back seats. Here in the back seat of the Triton, life is a little bit better than the outgoing 5th gen car because the wheelbase is longer, but the seat base is a little bit low for myself. So I've adjusted the driving seat into my position. Legroom's good, toe room is a bit constrained, but I do have to splay my legs to get comfortable. So that's probably one shortcoming compared to some of the most comfy second row in the industry in terms of pickups. But again, is it really that big of a deal? Probably not, but just something to note. Rear air vents, yes, we do have them up here, just like the old Triton. We still have the climate panel or air conditioning panel up here in the roof, and we have a flip down armrest with 2 cup holders. Additionally, we now have USB ports in the back and these seat back pockets over here on the passenger seat as well. So again, I think Mitsubishi are probably realizing that a lot of customers in Australia are buying utes and are buying Tritons to use not just as workhorse vehicles, but as family cars on the weekend too. And we are expecting the Triton will be certainly under consideration for a 5-star ANCAP safety rating because it does come loaded to the gills with safety technology. We're at Triton World. It's the world premiere of the 6th generation Triton. It is a major spectacle. What I've got behind me is a little caravan, and this is important because what Mitsubishi has done for the next generation Triton is they have beefed up the towing capacity. It was 3,100 kilograms before. It's now 3,500 kilograms, which is of course the equal of vehicles like the Toyota Hilux and the Volkswagen Amarok and new Ford Ranger. So what is next for the new Mitsubishi Triton? Well, the reveal has been today in July 2023. We'll know the price of the new Triton towards the end of this year before Christmas, and Australian deliveries will start in February 2024. But I think the most interesting next step will be, what is the motorsport inspired version of the Triton going to be? Everybody's doing it. Ford's got the Ranger Raptor. Toyota are going into the Hilux GR Sport. When will there be a Triton Ralliart? Well, certainly Mitsubishi are not shying away from this centerpiece in Triton World today, so I'm expecting to see a beefed up off-road special Triton in the years to come. Would you like to see that? Let us know down below in the comments about Ralliart and about your general impressions of the new Triton. Is it enough? Will you be looking to order one? How much should this ute cost? Let us know your feedback. While you're down there, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and thanks for watching Chasing Cars.